Sasuke is the kind of character who will do anything for the people that he cares about. And one of the things that he'll definitely do for characters that he cares about is go rogue. So in this video, we're going to talk about how I think Sasuke is going to end up going rogue again. And this is all because of the events of the Boruto manga, where we recently saw Boruto's entire life get flipped upside down, and everything in this series is going to be changing in a massive way. So where am I starting off of this? We know that in Boruto Chapter 79, Eida and Kawaki used an ability to pretty much rewrite the entirety of Naruto so that everyone believes that Kawaki is the son of Naruto and Boruto is actually a missing ninja or a rogue ninja or somebody who came into the village and killed their Hokage. Now we've seen that certain people are completely unaffected by Eida's technique, like Sarada Uchiha, who seems to completely remember who Boruto is. And in Chapter 79, we saw a strange situation where we see Sasuke running, and in the middle of it, he kind of stops and looks a little confused at what exactly is going on. And this happens very quickly after Shikamaru changed his statements about going after Kawaki to going after Boruto after the effect of this ability was used. Anyone who this ability was successfully used on wouldn't really see it weird that they're going after Boruto now, but it seems like this does give Sasuke pause, leading me to believe that Sasuke will be doubling his way back over to Boruto to make sure that he takes care of Boruto in this weird situation, and also to get more information on what exactly is going on, especially since Boruto does know what's happening thanks to Momoshiki. So we do see Sasuke returning to Boruto and instantly understanding that this means we cannot go back into the village, right? Everything that we knew up until this point, that's gone, that's all done with. We are now in a situation, Boruto, where you are seen as not only an enemy to all the people in this village, but you are likely to be seen as an enemy just by everybody because of the level of status and love that Naruto has gained over the course of his original series. And I feel like before, Boruto might have had a decent idea about the level of big deal that his father was, but now I think we are about to see the character and Sasuke go on a journey where he really starts to understand more and more just how big of a deal his dad was because of the amount of allies that he has. Due to the events of the Great Ninja War at the end of Naruto Shippuden, Naruto has pretty much allied himself with the leader of every major country in Naruto. And given that most of these countries are now allied, I can't imagine that leaders from these other countries are going to take it very nicely when they hear that Naruto has been killed. And this is going to present a major problem if Boruto and Sasuke make their way to any other country, because I believe the second that Sasuke allies himself with Boruto, they're going to put him right back in that bingo book. And everyone on Earth is pretty much just going to look at Sasuke like, oh, okay, you're just back to your old tricks. Naruto was wrong about you, and now I'm going to get payback because he gave you a chance, and now you're helping the person who took him down. So clearly, you Uchiha are just scum, and it's time to take you out. Some characters that I really want to see interact with Sasuke and Boruto during this period would definitely be Gaara and the Kage. I feel like those two would give us a lot of narrative weight behind their interactions with these characters, especially since Gaara did have that moment with Sasuke during the 5 Kage Summit, where he started crying on behalf of Naruto because he also was a person who Naruto tried to save in the past successfully. Here, I think instead of just sadness and crying, we would actually see Gaara's rage because Naruto is his best friend. Similar to the relationship that you see between Mitsuki and Boruto, Naruto is kind of Gaara's son. So to see it ripped away in this way, especially when he wasn't there and wasn't able to help him in any way about it, I think that would definitely be a heavy burden on Gaara, meaning that all the Sand Ninja would be on high alert for any chakra signals from Boruto or Sasuke if they entered that country. But I don't necessarily think that that would be the biggest issue because again, Sasuke is there and he is a master of lightning release, and lightning release is very strong against earth style. So I don't think Sunagakure would be the most dangerous place for both of them to go. However, I do think it would be very, very interesting to see if somehow, just through the power of friendship, Gaara or any of the others could break the programming that's been put on them by Eida. And honestly, just thanks to all the trauma that I'm sure Sasuke has after trying to pull up on Killer Bee, I don't think he would go anywhere near the Cloud Village, right? That just wouldn't be the way to go. Not saying that they're strong enough to just completely take Sasuke out, but with the lack of his Rinnegan, I just don't know necessarily if that's the place that he would think to go to. Honestly, there are two places that I think would make the most sense for Sasuke to go to, with one of them being Orochimaru's hideouts, or at least one of the many Orochimaru hideouts. This whole thing happening with Eida really makes me question if Orochimaru would really even care about what Boruto allegedly did, because we know that Orochimaru is always moving towards his own goals, and more or less he's decided to support Sasuke in any way that he can. So I wonder what would happen if Sasuke came to Orochimaru's doorstep claiming to have the person that everyone now thinks defeated Naruto, and if Orochimaru would show any sort of loyalty to Naruto in this situation and try to take Boruto Boruto and Sasuke down, or if he would just accept everything that Sasuke was saying and try to help them in any way that he could. Honestly, with a character like Orochimaru, I wouldn't put it past him to just have some way to not be affected by this at all, because he's just cracked in that way. But let's say that Orochimaru does help Sasuke and Boruto. Orochimaru isn't really the most understanding, respectable guy, I feel like. You know, people would just kind of look at that as the villains are getting back together, Sasuke is getting the band back together, and now we have to put a stop to this before we have another Taka and Hebi situation on our heels. And especially given everything Sasuke did at the very end of the war, keeping everyone locked in the Infinite Tsukuyomi more or less himself while he tried to hide the tail beast, I'm sure anyone who heard about that, if that story was shared, would look at Sasuke very suspiciously, despite all the things that he's done on his quest to redeem himself between Shippuden and the beginning of Boruto, something that we can see in Sasuke's novels as he travels across the world. So my belief honestly is that soon we're about to see Sasuke and Boruto traveling all over various different countries to try to find a place that is not only safe, but also to find various locations to train Boruto to make him strong enough to go back to the village and defeat Kawaki to try to undo all the things that have happened to him thus far. This would very strongly mirror the journey that Jiraiya and Naruto took to try to get him strong enough to save Sasuke, and in the original series this led us to a time skip where we didn't actually get to see the events of this training. However, I think that there's just way too much intrigue in this section of the story for us to completely skip out on 2 years or however many years of Boruto and Sasuke going around and pretty much playing spy in all these different countries. That's something that I would really want to see, and not just in a light novel. And again, I think that just the level of drama between all the various characters that would come upon Sasuke and Boruto would be awesome to focus on for quite a while. Because Sasuke did tell us that he might have to be the next person to show their resolve, and I do think Sasuke is going to have to do some training on his own to try to figure out how he can make up for his lack of a Rinnegan, or if there's any way that he could turn his already existing Sharingan into that missing piece that he doesn't have. And all in all, I really do enjoy the mentor-student relationship between Boruto and Sasuke. I really like how Boruto and Kawaki have pretty much completely switched places in their role of the inheritors of the Will of Flame from Naruto and Sasuke, and knowing that in the time skip Boruto does have Sasuke's sword, Boruto does have Sasuke's outfit and his headband all on, that really doesn't imply all that great things happening to Sasuke in this period of the story, and a lot of fans for a long time have been considering the possibility that Sasuke might not actually make it through the entirety of Boruto Part 1, so what better section of the story than this section right here, where both of them are likely to be considered rogue ninja, to have Sasuke actually lose his life after training Boruto enough that he could hold his own against the entire world until he's ready to come back to Konoha and take it all back. So what do you think about the chances that Sasuke could accidentally make himself an enemy of the entire world all over again, but this time instead of doing it for purely selfish reasons, he's actually doing it for someone else? And I feel like this would really redeem his character in a lot of ways for some people who still don't feel like he's been redeemed, because he's doing the selfish act that he originally did that caused so much damage in the world, but just now for actually good reasons. And you know, Naruto did tell Sasuke to look after Boruto if anything ever happened to him. It would just really be sad if doing this actually led to the death of one of the most famous characters in all of Naruto and Naruto's best friend. So what do you think the odds are that Sasuke might die at the hands of somebody somewhere during the section where him and Boruto are likely to be going rogue again? And in one of my next Boruto videos, I'm going to be discussing and creating a situation for what would happen if Sarada tagged along, because we also know that Sarada is one of the people who can remember Boruto, but what are the dangers of her being there if Sasuke gets injured, and the likelihood that she could awaken her Mangekyo Sharingan?